There are a lot of ruggedized smartphones. Usually they come in a very thick kind of body that doesn't look very pleasant, and they cost a lot, don't offer a lot of performance. The Lagenio Panther 2 Pro tries to rake this by a very unique kind and very nice design, offering good performance, good battery life, and this all for an affordable price. Welcome to this review and unboxing of the Lagenio Panther 2 Pro. So let's get started. So here we have the package of the Panther 2 Pro from Lagenio, and my cute little assistant is now helping me to unpack it. Guck mal so. This way is how we unpack it. And here it is. So first of all, what we have here, yay, yay, is a screen protector here. So it's a hard one. Seems to be glass screen protector. Take care of it, yeah. And then we have the phone itself, and you see directly, immediately, that this is a rugged phone here with a very cool design. Let's get it out of there. Yeah, my assistant is like checking out the paper stuff there. So we have a user's manual, we have a warranty certificate, we have a warning there not to unscrew and open it, and something about battery here as well. And then you can see, please leave it alone, lasst das. Then we have, yes, what do we have there? USB type C to C cable. We have a small SIM eject tool as well. And we have a 20-watt USB type C charger. So I'm pretty happy that we have a USB type C charger here. C to C actually, not A to C. So this is quite cool. And then let's take a look around the device first. No, put it there, put it there. And then you can see this is the main highlight, 50 megapixel main camera. Then there's some other secondary cameras there, not so important. Lagenio, I think it's, or Lagenio is the brand here. Very nice pattern. It looks not like a normal slab phone, it looks different. It is a rugged phone, but doesn't look like a total brick, total thick brick. We have this yellow-orangey kind of accent color there, top and bottom, and here on the sides as well. And some of them, there's a fingerprint reader on the side here, power button, fingerprint reader. There's a button, there's a button. This is a screw, there's a button, a few buttons here. There's a button as well. And here, can you see it? This looks like the Sony way of SIM ejecting. Why they have a SIM eject tool though? I don't really know, because here I can just use my fingernail and take it out. And yes, micro SD storage, come on baby. We have a rubber around there, so it's probably water protected, and 2 nano SIM slots. Very, very cool. You don't need the SIM eject tool. I was like curious anyway why the SIM eject tool is there. My assistant is packing it in again. Yeah, and this is the Lagenio Panther 2 Pro. Very nice in the hand. It looks like a brick, of course, a little bit. It feels like a brick a little bit, but this is like a solid phone. If it falls on the ground be better prepared, otherwise it will break. So yeah, and this definitely will not break so easily. It feels solidly built. You can like probably self-defend yourself with this one here. Very nice design. Looks very interesting and fantastic. What do you think about this one here? And we will check out the software now. So it is starting up and working. You can see a little bit the screen on, and my daughter playing with the elephant there in the background and having her doctor's costume on. Anyway, it's an LCD, IPS LCD, as you see. There's a little bit of bleeding going on there towards the sides, top and bottom. And yeah, the bezels are a bit thicker there, but it's good because it is protecting the screen then. And by default, there's also a screen protector already installed. So probably you don't need this glass screen protector, only if you really go outdoors and have fear to put it down somewhere. The setup of the fingerprint sensor is also quite easily done. So it is telling me that I should place my hand now here. And it's like then scanning multiple times my fingerprint. And it looks like a pretty vanilla way of adding your fingerprint. Hey, it's very cool. So let's do it. Yay! So it's quite quick, and use gestures instead of free button navigation. Next, Google Services. Yeah, I left everything on here. It's my test account anyway. And I don't want to back up anything because otherwise I have everything full here on this test account. And then choose your browser engine. So this is something that you will have in the EU. And maybe I will choose, I like the Brave browser. Where is it? Don't see the Brave browser here. There it is. Brave browser, set as default. And the search should be start page. I like this as well. So, there we go. Agree. And then we should end up, no, Gemini Assistant. You can configure it, bringing it up by speaking, but I don't want it. So let's go. I want to see the desktop. I want to see the desktop. Check out fast with your phone. Oh, so we have Google Pay on board. So there is also NFC, which is quite nice. And we can add additional things, but I say no thank you. Can do it later. Just want to show you the desktop. Yes, this is a basically stock experience that we have here. With some applications, there are some applications that are specific to this. Like for example, Keep Notes is there. There's a camera application that looks like a dedicated camera application. FM radio tool bag, the calculator. Or maybe it's the default one, but looks the icon theme looks nice. There's a flashlight. Let's turn it on because it's like, okay, this is just this flashlight. I was like expecting maybe a little bit more. The clock, Gemini is here. It's downloading Brave and setting it as default. You can see Chrome is here still. Google Calendar, there's a settings app, which is just a normal setting. It's just the icons look so nice. There's Easy Launcher. So it's probably like an easy way if you want to use it for some elderly people or people that just want to have an easy user interface there, also with buttons instead of like as you can see here, buttons instead of like gesture navigation. And this launcher apparently is like, I have to like exit it from somewhere else. Cannot do it here, but yeah, we have Windows-like user interface, I would almost say, with very large tiles here. I see how I can switch back in a second, and then, but first of all, I check. It's downloading start page as well as the default app. Before we do it, let's check out the storage. So 11 gigabytes use. This is so cool because all the other flagship phones, they use like 20, sometimes 30 gigabytes here. Just 11 gigabytes, so you get a very clean operating system of 256 gigabytes. So that's very cool. In terms of memory, you saw like 24 gig, but it's not really. It is 8 gig of memory that it really has, and then you can use RAM expansion, and by default it's even turned off. You can turn it on, and then you can use up to 16 gigabytes that you can activate and then reboot, which is like using Z-swap, I think, and Z-RAM underneath there. So some Linux tools to be able to do this, but by default it's 8 gig RAM and should be enough, I would say, for such a phone. And nice icon pack, I like that. So what they have here, we have the smart key. So this is the one on the left here that we can configure if we want to. And we have one click, double click and long click to do certain things like open flashlight, for example, open SOS, open underwater camera or screenshot, or open a specific application, which is also possible here. So for example, one click, I would like to open up the camera. Let's go back, double click. I want to open up the flashlight, so let's check it out. So we have the double click first, flashlight on, nice, and double click, flashlight off, then one click, and it's open up the camera first time. So it's asking me allow everything here, start capture, and this is the camera. Whoa, looks like they have a proper camera application here with tons of features like portrait mode. We can set the virtual aperture, panorama mode. We have 50 megapixel high-res mode. We have a video mode here as well. What can the video mode do? There's no configuration here. Maybe you can see here. Video size, full HD, 30 frames per second. So yes, no 4K, sadly. But I think the CPU might have some issues there. There's several settings that we can check here. White balance and anti-bending we can set to auto. We have face detect that we can set to auto. Microphone switch, so I think it is switching automatically to an external mic. And some photo options here like quick capture, volume key, act as shutter and storage path, because we have like the micro SD card slot, so we can choose the default storage to be also the micro SD card slot, which is quite nice. We have some more options here, like a Pro mode, a time-lapse audio node, QR code scanner, macro mode, DV macro, which is like, I think, video macro, so macro for photos, macro for videos, night mode as well. Let's go to the Pro mode because I'm interested in the Pro mode only for photos, but we have the exposure compensation, shutter speed, automatic, the AF or manual focus, ISO, white balance, and this is contrast and saturation that we can set up. Very, very nice. There's HDR on the top. There is the Google Lens support. There are some filters as well integrated in here. So we have some filter that we can check up here. They have names, but they cannot read the names. It's so small. But you can see that's like changing the effect dramatically. And my daughter wants something from me, so let's check out. I will check even more and show you more about the operating system after I figured out everything. So here we have some photos that my daughter actually took of me. As you see here, we have a little bit of overblown highlights. My face is getting a bit red. Yeah, it was a bit warm, but shouldn't be that red. Otherwise, yeah, you can see me here and it's not too pixelated here. So probably not that bad. Let's go to the next one. So yeah, this is what my daughter took pictures of her dolls, and I cannot go back. Let's go this. We have a bit of background blur that you can get, as you see. If we get a close-up with the main camera sensor, you can get a little bit of background blur. It doesn't look too bad here, too shabby, I think. What do you think about this one here? And then another one here. We can see a little bit foreground blur, this being in focus, and then background blur. So yes, the sensor is small, but you can achieve certain things. This is the one without HDR turned on. You can see the sky is overblown there, but the colors are nice. It is definitely over sharpening everything to compensate a little bit. And then we have this here with HDR on. So you can see the effect is really doing its thing. Everything is a bit darker. It's still over sharpened, but we have the sky nicely exposed. And here a selfie. Actually with the back-facing camera. I think the detail level is okay. My eyes are definitely too blue, so it is like doing certain things there. And as soon as it detects the face, the HDR is not working as great as it should work. Otherwise, in terms of colors, I think it gets the colors right, which is what I like. A little bit the reds, a little bit overblown, but the rest of the colors are very, very accurate there. With this shot here. Why is that the case? Because this shot I did with the manual mode. But even without the manual mode, sometimes it gets a bit too cool, but yes, it is working fine, as you see here indoors. But it's definitely not the best camera for sure for photos. So be aware of that. Indoors, it can get a bit grainy, but it's a solid kind of camera for things that it can do. The videos are a bit disappointing in my opinion, but let's check out the videos. So I'm not even sure it is using this microphone here, or the internal mics. This is the Panther 2 Pro. It's definitely not a camera beast. It has some auxiliary cameras there. I'm not even sure what they're doing there because I didn't see them, the possibility to access them in the camera application. This is the 50 megapixel main sensor. It seems to be a smaller main sensor. At least the processing looks a little bit odd. It's using pixel binning to pixel bin the 50 megapixels to 12 megapixels, but you can see some sample images that I took with it right here. Not so sure how you think about it. Even in bright conditions, not so great. Indoors, you can forget about it, but it's just probably something that is good enough to just take a snapshot. It's quite fast, the shutter speed, which is quite nice. And for videos, can you use it for videos? 1080p only, 30 frames per second. I think it's just also like in an emergency situation, you take it for videos. This is not the thing that you want to have for vlogging. This is something that you use for emergencies. If you want to take a photo, snap, or just a quick video. This is then enough with the back-facing cameras. Let's check out the front-facing camera as well. And this is now the front-facing camera. I don't even know if the back and front have stabilization. I hope they have stabilization. But what do you think about this one? It looks to be that there's a bit of HDR going on there. So it has a bit of video HDR. And hopefully it's also recording with this mic. The field of view is quite nice. We have a pause button, we have a capture button, so they have some nice features here, but it's definitely not a camera beast here in terms of this camera. Now the sun is out. How's the exposure? Now it's of course a bit hard. HDR test. So what do you think about the Panther 2 Pro here in terms of photos and videos? And there's this interesting light. So if you have a timer set or something like this, you have a light strip here on the back that you can also configure in software. And yeah, it started ringing now, but it's also like indicating it via blinking. You can set it up in the application when you are going into your settings and then radiant and agile, and there you can turn on lighting switch, it's actually called do not disturb mode on, so it automatically turns on when you have do not disturb mode on, which is a nice idea, I would say. Power on off light will turn on when it powers on and off. Rhythm light, I think this is for music rhythms, and you can choose different rhythms here. So you have this one here. You have this one here. Is it actually? It's just showing it here actually right now. You can choose various different rhythms here to show up, rhythm and dual flow. So this is how you want it to have, and this is the one that I chose here, which is the default. You have also mode selection. Oh, this is actually mode selection, and we have this one here as well. That might be interesting. Or maybe this one I will take. And sometimes it's showing, sometimes it's not showing. There's notifications. If notification comes in, it will show them here as well with this little light. So it reminds me a little bit of the glyph interface that we have on Nothing phones, or had on Nothing phones. There's app lights. If you click on this, it's showing the alarm clock and timer app. But if you go to notification lights, you have the possibility to turn off or on for certain notifications. For system notifications, which will take like all the notifications, SMS notifications and call flicker, and supported apps, so I can turn it on and off for certain apps that I want to have notifications on this light interface there. So this is a quite unique feature set that we have here on the Panther 2 Pro that I really, really like. Aside from this, the battery life is pretty awesome. Like the 5100 mAh battery is like holding pretty long here. Depends of course of your usage, but it is pretty long. We have also very significant options to tune our battery health. So first of all, we have the battery health itself. We have like here different protection levels that we can set up if you want to. We have the battery saver that we can turn on as scheduled for 20%. So if you're lower than 20%, the battery saver mode goes on and it turns off when you're charged up to 90%. We have the adaptive battery options here that you can turn on, so it will learn and will adapt to your charging and to your discharging needs, basically. Battery percentage you can turn on, but this is like a bit of a joke. Can you even see it? I think I have to zoom in like 10 times, and then you might see this little number there. Otherwise, it is basically impossible to see. So this is why I have it turned off, because it's just disturbing. We have some app optimization options there as well, so you can tune your apps the way you like it, like app standby optimizer, stop apps after you reach the lock screen. So if you want to kill your web browser after you reach the lock screen, you have the possibility to do so. And you can see some power optimizations there for applications and intensive power hungry applications that you can kill as well. So very nice options there. Under apps, we have some normal app settings there. We can set default apps, and for some people who want to know if you can set a default caller and caller ID and spam app, yes, you have the possibility to do this as well here if you want to. You can set up your digital assistant. As you can see, it's Google here in this case because I don't have any other one. And yes, you can even configure your home application. You can exchange it to something else, which is quite nice, and everything else will work still. And the same goes for the wallet app. So this is quite useful. You have the possibility to clone apps. And we have some other options like for the Google Assistant or the Gemini Assistant, how it's called now. And this is basically the settings. Yes, storage options and so on. There's a normal system update tool here. If you click on system update, it's a normal kind of tool here integrated. And you saw already, like, we are on June 2025, Android 15. So it's quite a new release here on this device. Otherwise, in terms of unique applications, we have this tool bag here, which comes, for example, with the compass that I turned on already. Let's go back there. There are other things like sound meter That is really working, as you see here, depending on the sound that you have. As an indicator, I think it's good. The same goes for like pic hanging, which is super interesting. So you have an assistant that helps you to hang your picture frames very straight, which is quite nice. And of course you have a gradometer built on this, and built up on those tools we have some other options, like for example this here, and oops, let me go back, and this tool here as well, that help you to set like 90-degree angles or even other angles that you can set up here. So I think for people who need it, this might be, as it is a very solid phone, a workhorse, and sometimes you forgot your tool, it might help you with certain things. Then we have also a height measurement tool that allows you to measure certain heights. It gives you nice instructions on how to do this, which is also quite interesting. And then we have a magnifying glass, so if you want to magnify something that's very small, sometimes when you're working you can also take a picture out of it. I can enable the flash, which is super handy if you're searching for what screw type is it, a smaller kind of screw. On your computer you have the possibility to do so. If you're lost in the wilderness, you have a warning option, so you can turn an acoustical warning, a flash warning, so the flash will blink, or the screen will blink, or you can turn on all of those here to make yourself be noted. So those are the tools that are specific to the Lagenio Panther 2 Pro. So nothing else is there in terms of bloatware, just like what I installed the Brave and Start page as my default browser and search engine. So it comes in a very clean user interface, and I like that so much. The only thing that I had to do in settings to get like this fluid animations is going into the display settings. And by the way, we have lots of options to configure the display as well. And there I enabled the screen refresh rate to auto, because by default it was set to 60 Hz, which looks a little bit slow nowadays. But you can go up to 120 Hz or set auto if you want to preserve a little bit of battery. Auto is working fine for me and definitely shows the effect. Most of the time it's probably running at 90, but still it is much more fluid. Then we have the possibility to display our current network speed, auto-rotate the screen, of course, which is off by default. Video display enhancements are possible as well for certain applications. You can bump up a little bit the contrast levels and colors, which is quite nice. So especially for this kind of level of phone. Contrast levels here, night light that you can turn on and schedule, the same way with the dark theme that I have turned for a scheduled sunrise to sunset, which is nice. And lock screen options and screen mount times are possible as well. In terms of tweakability, wallpaper and style options are there. This is a typical Android 15 wallpaper and style options that you can set up here. And you have more options here as well for privacy options, showing a text and so on. So this is possible here with this phone. So it comes full feature fledged, and I like the options that it has here, especially also with the radiant and agile, so the rhythm light here at the back. That might be something very unique for this very interesting looking phone already. So this is everything, the run through the software of the Lagenio Panther 2 Pro. What do you think so far? I think it's a pretty unique and interesting device for everyone who wants a clean Android interface. The speaker, because there's only one here at the bottom, is getting pretty loud, but lacks completely some kind of bass and thump. So if you want to listen to music, as cool as this interface looks like, I would tell you, please use headphones. It is way better sounding then. Well, let's listen. So you heard, it's getting pretty loud, can get pretty loud, but the bass is missing and the mids are okay-ish kind of. A second speaker here on the top, I think they would have enough space for it and put like a little bit more loud music out there. Would like make sense maybe also with this nice glyph interface that they have here, or this nice light LED dancing interface. Otherwise, rely on headphones via USB Type-C. You also need them for the FM radio, so makes a lot of sense to have it. Yes, because there's an FM radio built in, and this is another app that is custom to them, but you need to have a cable plugged in order to use it as an antenna. Overall, the Lagenio Panther 2 Pro is a pretty solid device, and I think what is really good about this device is its ruggedness. It is not as heavy of a brick as it looks like. Maybe it's a bit thicker than normal phones for sure, but it's definitely something that I like without a case could just like use without any issues, and yeah, have the possibility to nice face unlock animation. Have a nice phone here. 120 Hertz is fast enough for everyday today usage. I wouldn't do videos with it. The camera is like just so there is a camera and you can do certain things with it. But taking it as a everyday today, call quality is quite okay with this one as well. And outside, the internet connectivity with 4G LTE is no issue at all. It's a pretty solid device. So if I'm traveling, maybe and don't want to use my highly expensive phone, I can maybe take this one, or if I'm going to wilderness, I can use this for sure as well. Long battery life, solidly built, so if it drops into a river or something like this, probably doesn't break if I find it. And has all the features. You don't have to like miss certain things, like NFC payment is possible with it, Google Wallet works with it, Netflix and White Wine is working with it, so you have the possibility to watch also some binge watch some stuff if you're like camping on the camping site and yeah, it's boring there or it started to rain. You have the ability to use this phone for that as well. So I'm pretty happy with the Panther 2 Pro, and if you want to be happy as well, just click down the link below and you will find a link to the Lagenio Panther 2 Pro. I have to like read it because like Panther 2 Pro, let's call it Panther 2 Pro. It's a way cool name, way cooler than Lagenio, I think. Anyway, that's it for this review. If you have some questions, write it down in the comment section. Until the next time. Bye.